in Portland and one's in Spokane. Two bros in two towns, catching up when we can. News, life, and culture, reminiscing days past. Like, subscribe, and share the Real for Life podcast. Real for Life. Good evening and welcome to the Real for Life podcast with Jesse and Joe coming at you on an early March Monday night. Son of a bitch, Joe, it's March.
And it's fucking Monday.
You know what I was going to say to open when as soon as I realized it was March, I was going to say, fuck, I need to do my taxes. But now I'm wondering if I wait another month, there may not be an IRS.
This is true. You don't do
definitely
taxes until like fucking November, though.
Oh, really? You file for the extension?
Our accountant files for the extension, and then she tries to recoup last year in November and ask us 1,000 fucking questions, and I'm like, that was 2 years ago.
Fuck me, dude. I'm just gonna start the show by pissing you off. So I'm talking to this chick the other day who's kind of like you, and that there's a vagina. No. So she's a small business owner.
Okay.
I think she's a very successful small business owner, right?
Okay.
Media, something or another. Anyway, so of course it's Portland. So she's like, oh, millionaires, blah, blah, pay taxes, Elon Musk, tax cuts, blah, 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 blah. And I was like, you're a small business owner. You have tons of tax breaks. She's like, what are you talking about? I was like, okay, let me ask you this. Do you not expense a lunch? Do you not go to lunch and just mention your company so that you can fucking expense it? I was like, you talk about tax breaks. Like, I go to work.
Yeah, I'm going to argue on that one. So when you're a small business owner,
right?
It's still your fucking money.
Yeah, I know it's your money, Joe, but here's the point.
That's not a tax break.
I punch a time. No, hold on. Because I punch a time clock every day because I'm a loser, right?
Okay.
And because of that, I get no fucking tax breaks. None. So like you, when you're going to work, do you or do you not expense the gas that you put in your truck?
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. I don't get a fucking deduct my gas. I have to drive to work.
Okay, but on paper, I make $25,000 a year.
On paper?
Right.
I've seen your house, Joe. You make more than $25,000 a year.
I don't live in a big house. Let's rewind that real quick. I live in a moderately nice house because when we bought it, we put a lot of money into it.
And because you did a lot of the work. I'm with you, Joe. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get tax breaks. I'm saying that it's ironic for somebody that has a shit ton of tax breaks to complain about somebody else using fucking tax breaks
all that
in their business.
And like, if you really want to go down the rabbit hole, small businesses in Washington get fucked on taxes more than large businesses.
All businesses get fucked on taxes. Taxation is theft. It's fucking bullshit. Flat tax.
So it makes you have to cheat as much as possible to survive.
And here's the thing. I don't begrudge you or this woman or billionaires at all because fuck taxes. If you can find a way to cheat your taxes and pay less, especially now that we're finding out what they're spending those taxes on, fuck taxes.
Yeah, I get very upset when I meet a small business owner and they are 100% left. And it's fine to be left. It's fine to be right. But when they're like
totally
super psycho left and they own a small business, I'm like, that doesn't fucking add up.
No, it doesn't. Well, hold on though, depending on your business. So like the irony, I saw this story and it was like this fucking restaurant that had been around forever, right? And they were closing because the minimum wage in Seattle got raised to like $25 an hour.
Yeah, which is a big argument. So it was supposed to go to 15 eventually in Washington State. This is like 3 years ago. And they did this thing that like, okay, we're going to raise it to 15 to match Seattle.
Right.
And then we're going to be at 15. And so we're like, well, that fucking sucks. Cause at the time it was like 9, and
the living expense in Spokane is way less than Seattle. So it's fucking dumb.
It is dumb. And so we're like, cool, that's going to fucking suck. So we got to 15. The next year went to like, I'm ad-libbing like 1575. And then every year past that, it's gone up more. And I'm like, what happened to 15? Why are we still going?
But the funny thing is that it closed because of leftist policies around minimum wage.
Correct.
But on the door of the restaurant, they had all the fucking stickers, Joe. This is a safe space.
Oh,
All
yeah.
are welcome here.
Yeah.
Go Ukraine. Like,
Yeah. Probably.
and I left the comment. I was like, it looks like they got exactly what they voted for. And
Right.
that's
Right.
like, yeah. So just irony.
It's insane. It is very ironic. All right, let's hit the list before we fucking hit Ukraine.
Oh gosh. Okay. Why don't you tell me your list, buddy?
I don't know if I mentioned this one last week, but I think I did.
Butterscotch jelly beans. We have to cover butterscotch jelly beans.
We never touched that one?
No.
Yeah. All right, so I got butterscotch jelly beans. Nothing's more annoying than hearing a teenager play video games.
Oh, yeah.
Chips is underrated.
Oh, absolutely.
Why are guys the only ones accountable?
Everybody's doing ass stuff now. That's standard, boss.
That's standard.
Everybody's eating everybody's butt.
Tom Brady, Omaha, and D-Day.
Dude, you came loaded for bear this week.
My dick is basically the statue of David.
I can't wait to hear this.
Hit and Run.
Mm-hmm.
And Gene Hackman.
Ah.
All over the board.
I like it. I like it. Your list is way bigger than mine. I have Tool Time. Such a good show.
I have a fun pun on that one too, though. Keep going.
Okay. AI is bringing out the fetishes. Hashtag I'm down. Doge, which we'll cover later. And grown adults who do karate.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
And I'll just start with that. It's just we had to go to a Taekwondo tournament this weekend. And like my kid's getting ready to fight, quotation marks fight, right? They're 9. So anyway, there's these 2 kids in there. They're 7 years old. And it's super...
Can we reiterate for the audience that like they're not allowed to use feet, or they only can use feet?
They can pretty much only use feet. They can hit in the chest, but not in the face. And like, I mean, it's Taekwondo. It's a worthless martial art.
Okay.
But I mean, for an actual fight, it's worthless. I say that as somebody who would probably get laid the fuck out by, Rex Kwon Do.
Well, you've never been in a fight.
You think anybody wants a roundhouse kick wearing these? But anyway, so there's these 2 7-year-old kids in there, right? And it's so cute because they're wearing so much padding that they can barely move, and they're trying to kick each other.
Yeah, like the kid in Christmas movie.
It's the cutest thing you've ever seen, right? But then there's like adult men, I say men in quotation marks as well, that do it. And this guy's over there and he's like, just gives out this like, whoa, he's gonna put that kid to sleep. And it's like, they're fucking 7, bro. Settle the fuck down.
You should have been like, sweep the legs.
Yeah, I should have been like, settle down, sweep the leg, Johnny. Like, this isn't the 1984 All Valley Championship, okay? It's not that serious. They're 7.
Maybe
anyway, that's all.
Trying to pump up the kids. I don't know. Or maybe he lives at home with his mom in the basement.
Yeah. Well, it's weird because I think UFC was like a real eye opener for a lot of people. Not UFC. I shouldn't say that. The what was it called in the beginning when it was like the Gracies?
Prime.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
And it was like cage fight, octagon, no fucking rules except no eye gouging and no nut punches, right?
90% sure it was called Prime.
It might have just been the Ultimate Fighting League or some crap like that. But originally, when they started doing it, all of these people from these different disciplines came out. Nobody had ever even heard of jiu-jitsu before. And like it made everybody realize that their discipline was bullshit. Like the Taekwondo guys got fucking annihilated, along with karate, judo, all that dumb shit.
Right.
And basically Muay Thai kickboxing or Muay Thai boxing and jiu-jitsu like stood out very early on. So knowing that now as an adult man, why would you do Taekwondo? For the chicks, Joe. For the chicks.
Totally.
Of which there are none.
Right. I feel like it was Prime because I feel like Dana White bought UFC from Prime, or he bought Prime and created UFC.
Right.
Like, I don't follow it that closely, but I'm pretty sure that's almost accurate.
Mm-hmm.
From a white dude that doesn't fight.
Yeah. Well, we're good there. You don't have to fact check it. This is not a UFC podcast.
Chips is underrated. I'm just throwing it out there. It's
so fucking good, dude. I remember telling you that, and you were like, "I've seen it, but I didn't really notice anything."
Watched it. We watched it at your house, and you said that I was basically.
You're Michael Pena.
Yeah.
And I fucking love Michael Pena. Every role he's in, he absolutely crushes it. The guy, he's so good at comedy, but then he'll do a movie like 1,000 miles away or 1,000 light years away, where he was like the astronaut dude.
Did you see Fury?
Yep.
Yeah, he fucking kills it.
A serious actor when he needs to be, but then he can be like in Ant-Man, where he's a total fucking idiot.
Right.
Right?
No,
and even when he was a beginning FBI guy in Shooter, he crushed it.
Right. Well,
but Chips.
It makes me laugh because in fucking Landman, he's married to that chick that's like 20, maybe 22, and then dies in the first episode.
Yep.
I'm like, are we going to talk about the age gap here? Because she's like 20 and you're like 50, bro.
Yeah, but he could pass for late 20s.
He probably could. Yeah. I just thought it was funny.
He's the movie Chips is interesting because that is 100% Dax Shepard's brainchild. Like he's a legit car guy. He just posted, he's got like an 80s station wagon that's like 800 horsepower.
Sexy.
Yeah, he goes to Glamis every year for the Dune Fest. No, like, he's a legit hot rod guy.
He's just a fucking bro.
Yeah, he's a bro. That whole movie is his brainchild, and it's kind of like The Other Guys, where there's so many little nuance comedy golden nuggets and catchphrases.
Must have watched it 10 times.
Yeah, so and I would keep watching it. Yeah. And I love it. Like Michael Pena, he's like, did you just have relations with that girl? He's like, dude, how are you? She's ugly as shit. He's like, dude, how are you judging the women?
Skin or
are you judging them on like their looks or something? He's like, hey man, real talk. I ate her ass.
Like, what are the rules on that? Well, you make sure that she takes a shower and then it's game.
Basically, you look if they have wet wipes in their bathroom, you're green light.
What if they don't?
He's like,
still green light.
Fuck it, I do it anyway. And the other funny part about the movie, he's married to Kristen Bell.
Right, who's just
and she's cheating on him in the movie the whole fucking time. It's so good.
Love that he's like hates house smells because that's such a thing.
Oh yeah.
And how many times it goes back to that scenario?
Yep, germaphobe.
Germaphobe and litter boxes. He's just like, oh god.
Oh dude, and when the guy that played Gomer Pyle in Full Metal Jacket,
yeah,
dude, when he flexes up on them in the gym, like
I don't remember that part. Was that Gomer Pyle?
That's Gomer Pyle, dude.
I never connected that dot.
Oh yeah, Full Metal Jacket. And when they try to roll up on him in the gym and he just goes full fucking gorilla alpha on him.
He's benching like fucking 305.
Yeah. It's like, dude, that wasn't 305. He's like, dude, that was probably 500 pounds. Honestly, I kind of like the guy now. Oh, and then his fucking fetish with Lululemons. He's like, oh my God, tell me about do they got the banana grundle on the side? Oh my God, they're Lululemons.
Can't even look.
listeners of the podcast, if you have not watched Chips, you gotta watch Chips. It is
And it's
so
probably
fucking good.
15 years old, if I had to guess.
Yeah, 10, 15 years old.
Right.
The thing is
Lululemon.
Dax Shepard couldn't get anybody to finance that shit or like advertise it.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, it did well. It's kind of like one of those. It's a cult classic, right? But a lot of people don't know about that movie, and it's a fucking shame. Like, I would put it top 5 comedies of the last 20 years.
Top, yeah, 10.
Yeah, that, The Other Guys. There's not a lot of them out there. Comedy's kind of been dead for the last 8 to 10 years, to be honest.
I want to like.
Well, because everybody's too woke to do good jokes.
I mean, even the scene where he's carrying him naked, he gets dick slapped.
Oh, yeah.
They're not going to do that now because it's such a homophobe scene.
I know. Oh.
And the whole time, I mean, Dax is pretty woke in the movie at the time, and that's kind of his character.
He's like, oh, yeah. He's like, dude, are you like homophobic or something? It's like, no, I just don't want to carry another naked man. Like, I don't understand the problem here.
As his wife's banging some dude in the other room.
Oh my God, it's just so good. Ah, man, that's way better than mine. I was just gonna talk. We might as well just call this like a fucking TV show and movie podcast.
Pretty much. But okay, so we're rewatching Band of Brothers.
Never watched it.
It's really fucking good because it's.
I'm sure it is. I don't want to watch it because I know that it's that good and it's that serious, and I have to like mentally prepare, get a box of tissues, kind of thing.
It's not. Maybe at the end, so it's like a 10-part movie.
Right.
At the end, I'm only on like halfway through. It's probably the 5th time I've watched it though. But it's basically a true story because they interview the survivors.
Okay.
And then at the end of each segment, it shows you all the awards people got for their bravery. So, I mean, it's basically a true story.
Mm-hmm.
My point is, I never realized, and maybe the correlation exists or maybe it doesn't. And that's what I had to look up before we got on. So Tom Brady calls Omaha before a play.
Negative, sir.
But so does Eli Manning, and so does Peyton.
I was gonna say it's Peyton Manning that did that. I don't think Tom Brady did.
So that's what I looked up. Tom Brady did, but it said it came from Peyton Manning, and Eli Manning says he said it first, and it all came from Belichick.
Nobody believes Eli.
This is true because he looks half.
He's got a dumb face.
Yeah, he looks like he's got downs.
Yeah.
My point being is part of the initial attack on Normandy, D-Day, it was one of the 5 military groups was Omaha.
Oh.
So I wonder if some relative of Belichick or something like that had to come from something, because like how does that? Because none of them grew up in Omaha,
right?
So like, where did that term come from? So I'm watching Band of Brothers, and it was said, I'm like, this has to have a correlation somewhere.
At least theirs is cool. For some reason, if something is Ohio now, that means it's not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Like my kid, every time something's not cool, he's like, that's Ohio. I'm like, why are you've never even been there? It's probably a lovely place.
Like, you're in Dayton, it's amazing.
Yes.
No,
bullshit. Dude, we went to Cub Scouts tonight and they had to like write a card for their teacher.
Okay.
And so Parker writes this nice card, and then he said like something like, if I were to say you weren't a good teacher, I'd be capping. Apparently, capping means lying.
Well, in the 60s term, it'd be making fun of.
Well,
my dad
like,
uses
you know
that.
how like the kids say like no cap. That means like no lying or something like that.
I don't know, dude.
I just this new language.
A small spell of saying words.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, just shut the fuck up.
Know your audience.
Right. And so he doesn't use the words anymore, but he knows what they all mean. So when I hear one, I'm like, what the fuck's that mean?
Yeah, like when I talk to you, certainly I talk a lot different than if I'm talking to like my wife or any other civilized person. Right?
Possibly a priest.
Less cursing. Yes. But you got to know your audience.
This is true.
The new language is nuts. Tool Time.
Okay.
We've been watching that. And the only reason is because we watched Last Man Standing like a while back, which is an amazing sitcom. And then he's got a new show right now called Changing Gears.
Okay.
Basically, Tim Allen could get into stand-up again. Like, he's funny. But he just legitimately, like, he just loves family sitcoms. That's his thing. He enjoys it. So we went back and we started watching Tool Time, and I forgot how fucking great that show is. And the other thing about it is it's different than anything on TV now. Because, like, arguably the most successful family sitcom in the last 20 years is Modern Family.
Yeah, which I didn't really get into. Like Sofia Vergara, I already say her last name, is gorgeous.
Oh, I go Julie Bowen all day.
Is that the wife?
Yeah.
The other wife?
Who's also the hot player relations person in Happy Gilmore.
Oh, yes.
Yep. She was a little not as skinny when she was younger. Personally, I think she looked better.
Yeah, because she's probably 20.
Yeah, but she's really skinny, still super cute.
My parents fucking watched it all the time, and I love the little clips that are out on.
They're pretty good, but it's I mean, it's a show that's not. It's all about, like, every single episode is about some kind of social injustice. I mean, it's called Modern Family, right? It's like you're signing up for that, and it is a great show. I'm taking nothing away from it. But Tool Time is an old school sitcom where it's all about some wannabe alpha male that's trying to find his way through the world. And he wants his wife to play the wife role. And he's like, the man of the house. And like his kids are your stereotypical young boys, always getting in trouble, always wrestling. Everything's got to have more power.
Right.
It's just a good fucking show. Like, it makes you proud to be a man because he's a complete fuck up, but he's still like the man, you know?
Yeah. I love it. I don't know if you've gotten that far or remember when the youngest kid turns goth.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like
honestly,
huge thing.
We were going to watch the show like 2 years ago, and I was like, I don't want to watch it. Specifically because of that. Because when the kids get old, the oldest kid turns into like a total hoodlum, jock hoodlum, right? And the youngest kid goes goth. Which, honestly, if you're a writer of that show, it makes sense that the youngest kid went goth.
True.
Because his older brothers terrorized him.
Right.
Like, and he wasn't athletic.
Shit now.
I'm sure he does.
Oh, it's creepy.
Yeah.
So the pun that I had was me and Katie were talking about this. Fuck, I would say yesterday, but maybe 2 days ago. And because it's on Netflix. I was like, oh fuck, we should still watch this. And she's like, oh my God, I used to have the biggest crush on. And I was like, JTT?
Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
She goes, no, Tim Allen.
What?
Oh, what?
Wait, hold on. Oh, let me do it again.
Yeah. And she's like, oh yeah, I used to think he was so hot. I was like, did not see that one coming.
You know what, though? It's a traditional show, but every single episode, he goes over and he talks to his super kumbaya oatmeal neighbor, Wilson. And, like, once again, that's why it's important to have both sides, right?
Right.
Because Wilson is a lonely old man with nothing. Right?
Okay.
I would not call him a success, but he
They're
definitely,
neighbors.
I know, but he helps Tim so much. And every episode, even though it's a chauvinist old show, ends with him realizing that like his wife is right, he's an idiot, and he needs to trust her more. Like they're a team. And that's why it's a good show.
I haven't rewatched it, so maybe I'll give it another shot.
It's just good old school, and it's an easy watch. The thing is, there were so many commercials back then.
Yeah, the show's 18 minutes.
Yeah, it's like 18 minutes. It's fucking easy. So, hit one of your subjects there. I don't know how you're going to bring butterscotch jelly beans in. It's such a big subject.
I felt like I did.
I mean, do you feel like any of your offspring have experienced butterscotch jelly beans?
I don't think so.
I don't know if I'd want, like,
So
I know I'd be proud of my son, but I don't want to think about it.
Nah. So as like a married man, this is the thing. Like, when you're single.
What movie is that from, by the way? Dirty Grandpa?
No, it's with that douchebag from Goodfellas.
Yeah, I think it's Dirty Grandpa. Him.
No,
and,
is the guy that's the Punisher, and he's a boxer.
Oh shit, you're right.
And his name,
Robert De Niro.
Yeah.
And that guy.
Yeah.
And we're not going to remember.
And
right.
So, and his name in the movie is BJ. And so they're talking in front of kids. So then he says butterscotch jelly beans. It came from that movie.
Yeah. But obviously he's talking about
his wife making butterscotch
special favor. A special favor. Butterscotch jelly beans. Yeah.
Now I'm fucking lost on the subject. John Berthal is the actor.
Okay.
And I don't have internet.
Does he play the brother in The Accountant?
Exactly.
So have you seen the trailer yet for the second Accountant, The Accountant 2?
Have not.
It's going to be amazing. Did we talk about that last podcast?
We did not. My kid said it looks fucking terrible. I'm like, I heard it's going to be amazing.
I don't see how, if they stick to the formula of the first one, where it's just like a legit, like, action movie, then we're good. I wrote as a subject and I erased it. Jason Statham. Why is he so good?
Grudge match.
That's what it is. Oh yeah, it's the two old guys. It's Robert De Niro and he's fighting Stallone.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is a stupid idea for a movie.
Absolutely.
Obviously. Stallone, even at an old skinny age, you're never believing De Niro as an old guy.
When he was in the movie, what is that terrible movie that just came out? Well, I say just, but it's been 10 years. And he's like a gangster. It's like 4 years long. It's terrible.
Oh, the fucking Martin Scorsese, The Irishman.
The Irishman. Terrible movie. It's fucking terrible.
Didn't even watch it. Anything over 2 hours, 20 minutes, fuck off.
Right. And so there's a scene where he's young De Niro and he's gangster, but like they just like put makeup on his face and he like beats up this dude on the street.
Mm-hmm.
And it looked like a 90-year-old man trying to punch somebody. It was fucking embarrassing. Like, at least have an actor and put a mask on him. Like, it was just fucking terrible. Like, he can't even punch.
The whole Italian gangster thing to me is like, I mean, I understand like they have a methodology and they ran New York and a bunch of places, but it's so dumb. The reason I don't like it is because of the actors that play Italian gangsters in Hollywood. Like, I remember watching, I think it was like, you remember Comic the Insult Dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me to poop on.
Yeah. For me to poop on. So he's like talking to one of the guys from The Sopranos who's like, you're a typical Italian looking guy, slick back hair, gray stripes anyway. And the guy is like not on the show right now. He's just a guy. And he's acting like he's a fucking gangster on The Sopranos.
Okay.
And Insult the Comic Dog's like, dude, you're not a real gangster, right? Like you I know we say it a lot on the podcast, but you realize all these Hollywood action stars are just nerdy fucking drama kids, right?
Right. I think De Niro
They got on trend, and good for them. Total respect. Total respect.
Other than De Niro.
But you're not a real badass.
Nah.
You're not. None of you. The only one that I actually thought was a badass was Jean-Claude Van Damme. Turns out he was a gymnast. Never took martial arts ever.
And he's like 5'6", which is crazy.
Tall enough to win the Kumite.
And I fucking love Tom Hardy.
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
if I was a girl, Tom Hardy would be one of my hall passes.
100%.
Yeah.
But him in his 20s is the nerdiest motherfucker ever.
Oh, is he really?
Oh, God, yeah. And even, so have you seen the clip of, what's his
I'm going to just say, if you're a bro and you want to see a good rom-com with the lady, a movie you can both enjoy,
him and
This
Chris
Means
Pine.
War.
Yeah, great movie.
Him and Chris Pine,
yeah.
This Means War, with Witherspoon.
Witherspoon, yeah.
I can't remember her first name.
Reese
Witherspoon. Fucking great movie.
Yeah.
And Tom Hardy's gangster as fuck in that movie.
Yeah. But the dude from Breaking Bad, the kid, Aaron.
Oh, yeah.
Look up the clip on him on Price is Right.
Oh, no, he wasn't.
He was on Price is Right.
No.
He's probably like 20.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's fucking hilarious.
Dude, that's one of my favorite things when you see somebody who's like super famous, but you see him in the beginning.
Right.
Like, I honestly think that's the only reason why nobody is streaming In Living Color. Because In Living Color was one of the best sketch comedy shows, maybe the best sketch comedy show of all fucking time.
Yeah, they didn't fuck around.
And they had the Fly Girls. That's where Jennifer Lopez got her start. But they had I think the reason they don't stream it is because every episode they would have like a hip hop act.
Yeah.
And maybe they just can't get the rights or something like that. But
it was so good. But like everything they did was like, I would hate to say edgy because SNL does get edgy, but not like In Living Color.
Did you see SNL's opener this week?
No, I don't watch the show.
They of course did the redo of like Trump and Vance and Zaleski in the Oval Office. Like, just come out and say it. You hate America.
All right. Do you want to go down this road?
Dude, I'll start. Okay. First of all, I want to talk about good people versus bad people.
I'm just going to throw out, I have no fucking idea what's going on. So I'm coming from a complete dipshit with some opinions. So that's my stance.
What I'm coming from is that no matter your beliefs, left or right, politics is not something that should determine friendship.
Oh, 100%.
Right? Like, so, good example. So, it's so funny. There's a, one of me and Tana's friends went to pharmacy school with Tana. Super cool dude. We went to his 1-year-old's birthday party this weekend. I sent you a picture, all the balloons.
Yeah.
That was crazy, right?
A lot of balloons.
So this is not our target demographic for listeners for the show, right? But he's awesome. Shout out. He listens to every show. So we had just put out a show like 2 days before I went to this birthday party. He'd already listened to it. Now, this person leans left.
Okay.
Right? Like, pretty solidly, I'm pretty sure.
I have a lot of friends that lean very far left. Yeah. And
but he was like, sometimes when I listen to the show, I just kind of have to like cringe and bear it when you guys go into politics. But I still like the show. That is what we call a good person, right? Like, okay, you disagree with us, you'll listen to it. Maybe call us a dumbass, and we deserve it. All good. Then I get this person on Facebook who I Jeep with, and she makes this post about like, maybe it's time for Batman to come in because Elon's getting out of control. And so I wrote the comment. I was like, Batman was a super rich multi-billionaire that risked his entire fortune and his safety to bring justice. You do
So
realize Elon
Musk
is Batman in this situation, right? And so all these people jumped on me, and I just don't get why everybody's so anti-Elon right now.
the point.
Right. And they're like, oh, he's terrible and blah, 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 blah. It's like, dude, 4 years ago, all of you guys loved him. Everybody wanted a Tesla. You were so happy because he sent Starlinks to Ukraine when the war started.
Right.
But now that he wants to get rid of inefficiencies in government and find wasteful spending, now you're against him?
Right.
Oh, well, he's going to have access. Bro, he makes rockets for fucking NASA. He already has more than top secret security clearance.
I'm sure his team could figure out whatever the fuck they want to figure out without access.
Yes. And I'm like, I don't understand why you guys are so against finding any. Well, he's just doing this so that he can make more money. No, he's losing money. Tesla's stock has tanked since he started doing Doge because so many leftists, the one who buy his car, are pissed at it. Same as SpaceX. SpaceX stock is down because he's not spending as much time there. You know where he's spending his time? 18 hours a day running his team and sleeping on the fucking floor.
So one of my really strong left friends posted the other day, and I'm not going to take the time to look it up, but it was like, if you want to save money on taxes or whatever, she claimed that SpaceX gets $18 billion.
You know what? They probably do get a ton of money from our government. You know why? Because the awesome government agency that we created to go to space can't fucking go to space. They can't figure it out. Supposedly they went to the moon. I don't believe it.
No, it's bullshit.
No, we never fucking landed on the moon. It's total horseshit. But they can't do it. It's cheaper for the government to give Elon's company money and have Elon fly our satellites into space than it is to have NASA do it. It's not about favoritism. It's about free market capitalism. He found a cheaper way to do it, a more efficient way to do it. So they're paying him. This is a best case scenario. Oh, and by the way, the people trapped on the International Space Station right now, guess who's the only person who's able to go up and fucking rescue them? Elon Musk, which he'll be doing in 4 weeks.
Have you seen the video where like he makes this rocket and he's like, no, it has to be bigger and with the fangs on it? Have you seen this video?
No, but that's what Jeff Bezos did. His rocket does look like a dick.
It does look like a dick. So then it pans over to what is that dude's name? I want to say Ari. It's not Ari. The comedian, fucking Sasha Baron
Cohen.
Yeah, which is
they're nice, dude. Right. He just got divorced from the hot redhead, by the way.
Oh, I saw that too. Anyways, so when he was like the emperor or whatever that movie's called.
Oh, the dictator. Yeah.
Yeah. So he's making a rocket, and he says, "No, it has to have like it needs to be bigger with the wings." So Elon Musk literally said this as a joke, and they added it. Right. And the reporter's like, "Did you need it?" He's like, "No, I just thought it was funny."
Well, yeah, and so I just want to finish this Facebook point. The point is that a couple other Jeep friends chimed in, and of course Matt was one of them, and was like, "You just need to cut ties with these people. They're not worth your time. They're embarrassments." Blah 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 blah. And it's like, and so I make a couple other points, and this other chick chimes in because at a certain point, the original person that made the post, I was like, "Listen, we're not going to agree on this, so we can agree to disagree." But I appreciate you being respectful in your discourse and being constructive. Yeah, we had a legit conversation, me and the person who made the post. Okay. But then there's all these other dipshits on the side that are just saying hateful shit, which once again, the good old tolerant left will throw their family away and discommunicate with them for using a plastic straw, right? Yeah. I used to be a diehard liberal. Right?
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
A lot of conservative friends, none of them ever, they would make fun of me, but they never really treated me different, never affected friendships. As soon as I said that I liked Trump, I've lost so many fucking friends. It's so like The fact that the left claims to be the tolerant side is just insane to me. And that's why I brought up the dude from earlier, because he's a normal person. Like, he might lean left, but he's like, yeah, I don't agree with you, but like, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's
But
called being normal.
Orange Man bad.
So when I said agree to disagree, this chick chimes in. She's like, oh, the typical conservative talking point. Oh, agree to disagree because you can't win the argument. I was like, no, I just don't. I would never lose a friend. I'm not willing to throw away a friendship over a political argument.
You can't
ever
win on emotions. And most of these arguments are emotional, and there is no fucking win.
Well, and you can point out facts. Like, once again, like, how many presidents have had less net worth leaving office than going in? There's literally only one.
Right.
And it's Trump.
Yeah.
Same with Elon. Oh, well, he wasn't fucking, nobody voted for him. Well, first of all, nobody voted for Kamala either. But let's just put that aside. There are plenty of people in the government that are appointed that we don't vote for.
Correct.
And even the stuff that he's finding and making recommendations.
Czars did Obama have? Like,
I know.
Something?
Yeah.
None were voted for.
Elon Musk is still not allowed to fire anybody in the government. His team merely finds the inefficiencies, and then they go to the Office for Government Oversight, which already existed, by the way, and gives them the recommendations. They still make the choice. So, like, it's total horseshit. So, I got to tell you, so I got another argument about the Elon thing.
Okay, continue.
If you want to jump in, you can, but I had the biggest checkmate in an argument I've ever fucking had in my life. It was because, you know, hindsight's 20/20, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not in this one, Joe. So I'm chatting with this dude, really nice guy, love the guy, but he's like, yeah, fuck Elon Musk. I was like, why? Well, I just don't like what he's doing, man. Like, you can't just fire everybody overnight, man. There's gonna be a lot of stuff, you know, that maybe needs to happen. And I was like, yeah, but he's already fired some people and then brought them back when he realized that they might be needed. So, like, he's already proven that he's willing to admit when he's wrong. Well, I just don't like, you know, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, he didn't even create Tesla. It's not like he builds the rocket. So I was like, okay, hold on. True. He definitely did build Tesla, by the way. Like, that's his company. And for a guy that is only in it for the money, he's so only in it for the money that once Tesla became successful, he opened up all the patents for his batteries and made them public because he thought we needed more electric cars. So he made it free. Solid business decision there, guy. Like, Elon operates at a different level than all of us. You can love him or hate him, but he truly thinks that his objective is to save humanity. Now, him making money is a byproduct of that. But I honestly don't think he gives two shits about money. He honestly thinks it's his mission to save humanity. So he's like, fuck Elon Musk. And I'm like, listen, Elon Musk is like Steve Jobs, okay? Steve Jobs couldn't make a fucking two-way radio, but you wouldn't have the iPhone without him.
Correct.
Steve Wozniak could have never made a phone that people wanted. You need a good product or a good project manager. You need somebody like Steve Jobs to say, yeah, it's a good phone, but it's not sexy. It needs to be sexy. It needs to be intuitive. It needs to be durable. Oh, what's that? The headphones aren't perfect, then we're not releasing them. It has to be perfect. It has to be this. That's what Elon is. Him and Steve Jobs are the same. If it weren't for Steve Jobs, everybody'd have an Android. And those are garbage. So anyway, hold on. Let me finish the argument. So we're talking, and I'm like, okay, so you're against finding waste in the government? And he's like, well, there's stuff in there like that these other countries need. And I said, well, here's the good thing there, guy. Do you know who the number one country is in giving their own personal wealth towards philanthropy and charity? It's America. We're the number one country in giving to other countries when there's a problem. Nobody fucking gives to the US. We give to everybody.
No.
So let me ask you this there, guy. I said, if Elon Musk is successful and he eliminates a lot of waste and fraud and you get a bunch more money because you're paying less taxes, which countries and causes are you going to give that extra money to specifically? You know what he said? He said, oh, well, and of course the answer is fucking nothing. You're going to keep the money for yourself because you only want to spend other people's money. But he was like, well, I mean, I like to give more locally. And I said, thank you very much. You just proved my fucking point. You literally just admitted that you're America first.
Yeah.
I like to give more locally. So you're America first.
Right.
Congratulations, sir. You're a conservative. It was the biggest fucking checkmate I've ever had. You walked right into it. But it's true. Like if you say, okay, so say they eliminate federal taxes and you now have an influx of money, I'm assuming because you're just such a good person and you care about all these other countries, where are you going to be sending your money? Nobody has an answer.
It's a solid fucking point.
Well, and then his other argument was, well, the thing is if we don't send these countries money, then China's going to swoop in and then they're going to have control. And I was like, yeah, you know what? You're right. If China, instead of us, gives $34 million for a transgender opera in Ireland, that's going to suck, bro. We need that. Like, it's just like, what the fuck, dude? Anyway.
Again, left or right, I don't understand why anybody would be upset if you look at what they're spending, and it's our money. It's not their money. It's our tax dollars. And then you look at things that need to happen in our nation that don't, and they're giving billions of dollars away for nothing. And NATO does nothing. The US does everything. Like that alone should just
that's the whole NATO thing is fucking ridiculous. When NATO formed, there was a deal. And the deal was each member country has to spend 2% of their GDP on NATO and on defense. And if you don't do that, you don't get to be in NATO. And ever since NATO started, every fucking year since it started, there's only been one country that's met that obligation, and it's the United States. Some years we spend up to 5% of our GDP on defense, but none of these other countries do. So you have asshole countries like Canada. Don't get me, and when I say that, what I mean is I love Canadians. I love Canadian people. I hate their government. Same with other country. The people are great no matter where you go in the world. Their governments, on the other hand. So Canada's really good at calling us dumb because we don't have universal health care. Cool, bro. Yeah, it must be nice having all that extra money to spend on healthcare because you spend dick on defense.
And your tax rate's 50%.
Yes.
So that's the same difference. If I took 25% of my remaining tax and gave it to the government, I should hope I have healthcare.
And then Trudeau came out this week and was like, Canada is committed to meeting our 2% obligation by 2032. So once again, why the fuck are we in NATO? We don't need them at all. And that was the mistake Zelensky made this week. He came to the White House, the papers were drawn up, and he was supposed to come and sign the papers basically to give us rights to minerals in the Ukraine, basically to pay us back for the billions, fucking hundreds of billions of dollars we've spent there. And in return, we would guarantee their sovereignty, right? And he was like, yeah, not good enough. And of course, when you watch the news, they're only showing the last 4 minutes.
Right.
They talked for 40 minutes before that. And the entire time, Zelensky was sitting there, well, Putin bad. And don't get me wrong, Putin bad. Totally with you. He does not want peace. He doesn't want it. A couple things will happen if there's peace. Number one, last year, they were supposed to have an election. And Zelensky said, no, we're not having elections. It's too hard of a time right now. Can't have an election. Mostly because he's wildly unpopular, because there's nobody left over there to fight. They're literally kidnapping men off the street and forcing them to fight. It's called conscripting. So he knows he wouldn't win an election, so he just stopped the elections.
Yeah, I think.
And if they reach a peace deal, they're going to have an election, and then they're going to hold him accountable, and he's going to be in jail. So Elon Musk actually had the best idea. He was like, listen, they have to give, as crappy as it is, they need to give Zelensky complete immunity and move him to a neutral country. Otherwise, he's never gonna give in to any peace deal, because he's gone too far. And don't get me wrong, Russia bad. But they could have ended that war on day 3 by simply saying, yeah, we're not going to join NATO. And he keeps saying, oh, Ukraine needs to be part of NATO, because then they get the defense.
Right. From us.
Right. And everybody says, once again, how did they open the Oscars on Sunday night? First, we need to acknowledge that these Oscars are being held on stolen land. Because of course that's how they opened it, right? But it's the same thing. The world is not a kumbaya place. I would love it if it was, but it's not. If some other country is going to spend a shit ton on defense and they want your land, maybe you should have spent some on defense too.
I would love, this is a true goal, because I don't know the answer. And actually, the answer is in the question. Name one country in existence that was not conquered.
It literally does not exist. I mean,
correct. And the answer is because it's a country now, so there was people living there beforehand, right. But every single country has been conquered by another civilization, period.
And luckily nowadays, it's kind of an unheard of, like, you don't do that now. Like, we've pretty much divvied it up. We're good. And you're not really taking over other countries at this point.
Africa and the Middle East is still in constant conflict because of certain groups trying to take over. But again,
that is true. Sunnis and Shiites are fighting all the time.
My point.
Yeah, I guess that does happen, but it's human nature. I mean, you always want to put yourself in a better, more strategic position, and sometimes that means getting land. That's the whole argument for Hawaii. Like, first of all, the Hawaiians that are there
aren't Hawaiian.
Like, only took control of Hawaii like 300 years ago when they came over and literally killed every living soul that was there.
Right.
And took it over, killed all of them. Don't get me wrong. We were terrible to the Native Americans, but
didn't kill them all
here. Didn't kill them all, right? We were bad. Once again,
like, keep saying
our bases.
I wasn't there.
Sympathy for sure, but neither of us were there. But Hawaii is in too strategic of a place to not be held by either Russia, Asia, or us. It's too strategic. Somebody's going to be in control of it, unless somehow magically Hawaii gets an awesome defense system. But they didn't. So it is what it is. It's not good. I'm not saying it's good. I'm just saying that's the way the world fucking works.
Have you ever played the game Risk?
Exactly. Even Monopoly. Like, this is basic humanity. And you can say it's bad if you want, but it fucking is what it is. Yeah. So I don't know. It's pretty weird to watch. Like, they had an emergency. Well, not an emergency. Trump just tweeted a couple hours ago, like, they're freezing all foreign aid to Ukraine. So, like, it's going to be an interesting week. There's goods in there. I feel like I've never seen a more busy first month of any presidency ever. There's things that are pissing me off. The whole Epstein file thing, they really fumbled that. We still don't have MLK. We still don't have RFK. And we still don't have the Epstein files. And that was a campaign promise. and they're breaking it.
He's working on tax-free tips, so that's cool.
I know. No, don't get me wrong. He's crushing it. I couldn't be happier.
No, he came back with a vengeance of just like, fuck you, I'm going to do this.
Yeah, and he's crushing it. I mean, he's not perfect. They've got a couple flubs in there so far, mostly the Epstein file thing, because Pam Bondi kind of lied. She said, "Oh, it's on my desk. You wouldn't believe what's in there." And then it turns out she had nothing on her desk. She had the 200 pages that we already had. And apparently the Southern District of New York, the FBI office there is just like, yeah, we're not giving you the rest. So the head guy down there resigned yesterday. And we'll see what happens. But I would say a pretty productive first month. So
right,
I just don't get why people are so pissed. Like, he could cure cancer tomorrow and they would still hate him. It's so weird to me.
Oh, yeah.
So back to the list. Sorry, listeners. We try not to get political, but this has been a wild month.
So I was having a conversation with my wife the other night. And I told her I'm not the prettiest man.
I disagree.
I'm an attractive human, but I'm not the prettiest. I understand that. I go, but my penis is pretty good looking.
What movie, what show was that? It's got a very pretty penis. The League.
Oh, I don't know.
Kevin's got a pretty penis.
And she's like, okay, I can do that. And she goes, yes, you do. And I was like, thank you. I go, it's basically the statue of David. And she started laughing. And
it's not the biggest, but everybody agrees it's beautiful.
Well, she thought I was talking about the statue of David's dick. I go,
which is small in comparison. Thank you, Romans, by the way, for that little bit of confidence.
It was cold that day. I go, no, the entire statue is gorgeous and has no arms or no legs.
Yeah.
She didn't get the entire joke. She thought I was calling. Yeah, it was just kind of funny. I'm like, no, I meant the entire statue, not just his little dick with a giant bush. So every dude I've told that story got the reference, but every girl took the penis joke as the little mushroom. I just thought it was funny. Guys and girls.
Yeah, you gotta trim the bush down there, guys. It's not just for the ladies.
Yeah, it's head trimming.
Like a foreguard. You know? Enough to know you're a man, but not enough to where it's covering up everything.
Yeah, you can't look like a fucking infant.
If it's got curls, it's too long. Yes. Let's talk about AI. AI has got a lot of goods and a lot of bads, and we're seeing more and more of it every day.
I've never used it. I don't know how to use it. Is there an app?
Neither do I. But on Instagram, the fetishes are coming out. So a couple of years ago, I think it was 2 years ago, for the first time, Sports Illustrated had a swimsuit model. It was a girl with Down syndrome. And it kind of makes you question stuff because, I mean, her IQ is probably that of a 9-year-old, right? But her parents got her a boob job. So she's legitimately hot. But she's got the mind of a 9-year-old. So it's like, ethically, where are we standing on this one? You know? But what I've noticed, and we talked about this on a prior episode, but like, I looked at one video of breastfeeding on Instagram.
Yeah, and then it just fucking floods.
It's all I see. And yeah, I keep watching, but only because it's in the feed. So now I'm noticing that there's a bunch of chicks out there that use a face filter that make it look like they have Down syndrome.
No shit.
Yes. So it just looks like there's all these smoking hot, big booty gym bunnies that have Down syndrome. And here's the thing, Joe. They have a lot of followers. A lot of followers. So there's a lot of dudes out there that want a really hot chick with Down syndrome.
Oh my God.
And I don't I'm just going to make a stand because here on the Real for Life podcast, we're pretty wholesome. I think it's ethically wrong.
I think it's all going to implode really badly.
I said it. Yeah. And here's the thing, like, okay, let's go down this road. I may not publish this because it's not going to make me look good, but what do you do? Because, okay, say there's this chick from Sports Illustrated who's a legit, really hot chick that has Down syndrome. Now she's 25. She's an adult. Does she not deserve love?
Well, you take her out to dinner. She orders
Is she
off
only allowed,
and you give her some crayons.
But is she not? Is she only allowed to date another person with Down syndrome?
I don't know, and that's a bad idea too because then they just make babies.
I don't know if it's hereditary.
I don't know either. Again,
and what would it be like? I don't know.
I don't know. I don't even want to think.
Because there's that saying out there about strength. I got a dicey area here, but ethically, so they're 25, they're hot, they deserve love, but realistically, as a somewhat normal, mature adult, whatever, I don't know the PC way to say it, could you fall in love with somebody that had that IQ?
Yeah, but
I don't know the answer.
So IQ and emotional IQ, I'll do that. So emotional IQ and IQ, like you can be dumb as fucking rocks,
right?
But you can still carry a conversation, but don't know how to add.
So you're saying it's okay to date the girl with Down syndrome
if
she's hot, only if she's hot, Joe. Is that the ethical? Is that the line that you're drawing? Not me. No, I'm not drawing it. I'm definitely not drawing it.
Like medically, they're saying as smart as a 9-year-old or whatever their intelligent level is, but just because
you smart as a 9-year-old. That's a TV show, I think.
Have you ever fucking played trivia where you beat a fucking 5th grader?
Oh, that's what the show was.
Yeah, and you're an idiot because most of the questions you don't know.
True.
So again, is there emotional intelligence or are they just completely unintelligent? I don't know.
I don't know either. This is a weird, murky, ethical waters that we're treading into here. But somebody wants to know the answer to it. Because like I said, these chicks on Instagram using the down filter, they got a lot of subscribers, Joe.
I just think people are bored.
And I'm not one of them at all.
And need another road. I don't know, dude.
That is a true thing too. I mean, oh yeah, it's I don't know. I saw it on Instagram. I looked once. Now it's all over my feed.
And you're stuck with it.
You know what they need on Instagram? They need a like, because they have the like button. And I understand they don't want to put in like a dislike button, but they should have a button to say, I don't want to see stuff like this anymore.
I think Facebook has something like that. Maybe it's YouTube. One has like, do you enjoy this feed more or less?
Because you know what I don't want to see anymore? The over surgery, over whatever, like Brazilian style chicks with the big butt, the sculpted tummy, and the huge boobies. I don't want to see that anymore. I'm done.
Only one or two.
Even the Kardashians are starting to like trim down. Like the trend is going towards, it's going back to like the more wholesome girl next door.
Yeah. And it needs
I like it. Yeah.
All right. I got to rock a piss. It's good at any point, and I have a story.
Yeah, we're at an hour. I'm going to have to listen back to this before we post it.
My story I'm going to tell you is going to cross the fucking line. That's why I'm going to tell you off air.
Oh, sweet. All right. Well, we're going to end there. You know what? We got to plug. If you've got a subject you want to hear, realforlifepodcast@gmail.com. If you would like to No, I don't want to say join the show. I don't want to say that. We do need to get Scott on. He just got back from another trip to Colombia. He's adopting a dog. The dog is still in Colombia for another 4 weeks. It already has its own Instagram page.
Does it have AIDS or have a coke problem?
It is from Colombia. I don't know. Super cute dog.
Oh, it's polio for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that was the other thing this week with the... I'm not going to get into it. Oh, it's an interesting world, Joe. All right. Email us at realforlifepodcast@gmail.com. And if you really want to help the show, you got to share the show. Share the show. Tell your friends. If you email us at realforlifepodcast@gmail.com, I will send you some stickers. You can put them on your car. You can put them on your lunchbox. Anywhere, anything that needs keeping cold.
Anything that needs stickering.
Yes, exactly. Till next time, this is Jesse and Joe from the Real for Life podcast. Now, of course, my mouse goes dead.
Jesus Christ.
Podcast.
Real for Life.